Okay, so I'm back with Pluto in the 10th house of Capricorn. What do you know? Like, Pluto loves being in the 10th house because, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Like, Pluto is more of a secretive type thing. Let's just put it this way. If you met doing some type of work, you're having some type of affair, there's a very big chance that this is going to get exposed to the public. Exposed on the job, whatever. It's a very big chance because it's too much just going on here publicly. But let's say that these two are together. They could make a power couple. They can do a business and be good at bringing in the money, and then like having it maintain over time. Even if it starts off slow or not good, over time it can become very powerful, very big, and work very well. And it could be something that they pass down to their offspring. Okay, Pluto in the 10th house is, and yes, depending on the sign here, but it's very powerful. People see this couple. You cannot not see them. I'm talking like this couple could possibly even be very toxic in public, or arguments break out, or whatever. Let's say it's not anything bad. Let's say it's something that they're working on, or that they're known for. Like it's a public display of emotions, of crossing boundaries, of change. These two together could go through ups and downs. Like, people could see these two poor, lose their business, break up, have a very bad marriage, fall apart, but then just to revive themselves, and like years down the line or so, you come back and run into them and they're together again, or either they have restarted another business or ramped it up again some type of way and is successful. So these two go through ups and downs, you know, and where 10th house could be stagnant, Pluto is going to bring in that energy, the powerful energy for change. This couple, they need time. You know, they need time to build their relationship, and the more that they can create stability by things that they can get together and that they can work on, like goals. Relationship goals here could be really good, and just remembering to not restrict yourself within the experience. So the 10th house person is going to have to be a little bit accommodated and open to the energy that the Pluto person is bringing in, as long as it's not destructive, because wherever Pluto hits, change is going to come. And this is not romantic, this is sexual. It's the same thing as other Pluto placements. This could be a couple that likes to be seen getting it on, you know, publicly. And Pluto could bring this experience to the 10th house, by the way, because it could have been 10th house could find themselves doing things, breaking rules and stuff that they wouldn't have. And the interesting part about this is, let's say in a community type dynamic or cultural type dynamic, 10th house person would have certain maybe principles that they will follow, or they have a way of doing things. Pluto, in that relationship with Pluto, may or may not be accepted according to what is already established in this 10th house person's world. So it could be a lot of trying to defend themselves. These two will try to stick together more and more when people try to break them apart, because it's like they got certain stuff that's invested together. Even though culturally or morally it can seem like it's breaking some sort of guidelines. Now, mostly these guidelines are going to be from, you know, like the surroundings that they're in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the people that are condemning them is wrong or right. This is a very physical, emotional interaction. They could be lustful after each other. The 10th house person can definitely lust after Pluto person's ability to give them this experience. Like, this is a raw physical interaction with each other, to where it can change the 10th house person. Like the 10th house person, if they're usually reserved or whatever, they can still maybe publicly be reserved, but the Pluto person can bring that the reservation energy down and really turn them out. Okay, the 10th house person brings structure to Pluto person though, and I feel like Pluto does like it. It's different from being in the 9th house. Pluto been in the 9th house. In the 10th house, Pluto feels secure. Could feel secure and could feel like taken care of, you know. And they will definitely work on something. Like their whole thing would be overcoming maybe past experiences or shortcomings, and setting goals and working towards that, and you know, making the necessary changes to gain more income or to accomplish long-term goals. Like if they working out together, or if like it's a company that they're starting, or one person is looking for some sort of advancement in career, especially a 10th house person, the Pluto person can help them do that. But the 10th house person could help Pluto person channel its energy into something productive, you know, and establish some sort of, you know, balance, or not even balance, but structure within itself, so that they're not out here just, you know, living what they want to, you know. But like I said, whatever does happen, like if y'all getting physical, or there's abuse or anything that's going on, or just even arguments per se, it can really turn out to be some kind of way played out in public's eye. Let's say that this couple is you know, their business ain't so, you know, up on the up and up according to the laws and things, the law. These two could, if they get busted or caught, it could publicly play out. It's very hard for them to hide their passion for each other. My thing is this, I feel like depending on the Pluto person's age, they could feel like the 10th house person is restrictive and won't, you know, just won't let their true selves hang out, and just won't live life without following some type of structure, or having some type of structure. Just like they won't let their hair down when, you know, and Pluto comes to bring some sort of change to that. Or Pluto could feel like, okay, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, because Pluto can look for that type of fulfillment outside of their relationship. Because these two might stay together instead of splitting up. Even though other things may not be going the best. And it just depends, because like I said, Pluto is not touching the 10th house without one of them being unscathed. But they can make definite changes to long-term progression to the relationship itself, and for each other, that helps better each other with certain restrictions and guidelines that they follow. But they can also help, this is what the 10th house can bring to Pluto, or Pluto's gonna go and they're gonna see the 10th house image, career goals, and be like, okay, so this is what you got to do. You got to better yourself. You got to stop doing this. You got to do that, instead to make themselves better. So there's benefits here, but like I said, it just depends on how these two work through their situations. You know, the 10th house can provide Pluto with that structure to really channel its energy in a very powerful way, like working on itself instead of being compulsive, having more of a grip on how they display their power or try to gain access to that power. The 10th house person could be like, okay, just like work on the things that you want and what you want to see, you know, over time. Now, initially, yeah, they can start off, it depends on other placements, like not being interested in each other, or feeling like, okay, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do this. We ain't gonna be able to do this, because depending on where Pluto is placed, you know, because Pluto's gonna be like, nah, you too restrictive for me, and I'm not trying to hear it. I'm trying to just live my life And Pluto is going to want to get down and like get down in a very intimate, raw way. And depending on the placements of the 10th house person, the 10th house person can restrict that. But if they work on this, because it's going to be something there that they're interested in or they're working on, that's going to kind of fix them together. Again, depending on the sign, that, you know, this, they can improve on their intimacy, and they can, the 10th house person can really let their guard down. Then, hey, depending on the sign, it could be highly sexual, or it could lack that. It could lack that passion. And this could be what ultimately, because if they're, it's like a lot of similarities. Like if they're interested in the same thing or something similar, it'll be easier for them to come together and stay together and be willing to work on it, versus if they're not, because it could easily, the passion could be restricted between them, having them to go their separate ways, you know, for different reasons, like I said, as well. Because 10th house person may be like, shoot, my passion for you ain't worth me losing my position or my authority, or my my status in life. And but if they could come together, they could have, and they could work through things, and the status for both of them could be phenomenal. Great business, working on goals, seen as a power couple, a hard dynamic to break up, you know. But it just depends on what they both bring to the table. So I'm gonna fuzz the light. This is Pluto in the 10th house synastry, and subscribe to my channel because I will return. Peace.